Lost my mind, now I'm feeling so fine, cause I finally realized I don't need you. I'm feeling sublime when you're watching me shine, and you realize it's time I don't need you.
Hi, I'm Brooke.
And I'm Imani, and we're having.
Scent. How's it going this week, Imani?
Ooh, it's going good. If you heard our podcast last week, you know that the kids were home with me while I was working for the first time since the pandemic started, which is something I should be grateful for. But we're getting closer to the end. So I'm excited. There are like 2 more days, and then I'm shipping them off. We will be there when the school opens, okay?
Oh man, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So it's been good. What about you? How's it going?
It's been good. It's been good. A lot of progress this week. Just getting everything smoother with the delivery business and actually preparing for tax season.
Mm-hmm.
um the beginning of tax season really kind of hits me between the first of the year. Yeah, the first of the year, honestly. The 15th things really start kicking up. So, um, preparing for tax season, preparing for it to be absolutely crazy. um, so that's good. Keeping my son on track and focus on the right thing. Is always a challenge, but we've been doing what we got to do too. So it's been good. It's been good. Um, I'm just trying to think as far as my other development of my business is going. I started to uh, polish the website. I have a business that I started. I started working on maybe like 2, 3 years ago, and it's a professional services business, specialty business. And I already built the website and I decided I'm going to launch this year. And I have to finish the website, get a phone number, and just put a few other things in place. Like I already have the website, I already have the email and things like that. So I need to put some forms in place for prospective clients, forms in place for prospective associates, and just processes in place when things start rolling. I actually have a meeting about that coming up with a prospective partner that I believe will be able to help me assist and organize everything. So, getting there, making progress slowly but surely, but making progress. What about you?
Um, do you mean like what goals am I currently working on?
Yeah, how's your goals going? How it started and how's it going?
Well, how it started is a lot of me telling myself what I was gonna do and not doing any of it because uh, it's it's like it's easy to disappoint yourself. You don't feel bad about it, you know. You're just like, man, really should have done what I said I would do. Oh well, we just keep
Yeah,
living life. Like I
definitely.
should have gone to the gym. I should eat healthy. I shouldn't eat this burger, but I'll do better next time. But yes, so how it started was me lying to myself about what I was going to do. Um, and we fool ourselves in thinking that we're in progress and that we're in a process. You're really not. It just sounds better to say I'm on my way there than I'm not doing it at all. Really? I like to say I'm on my way back to the gym, but I'm not. Um, so that's how it started. How it's going is I've learned to um, attach incentive to the things that I want to do. So whether that's building things on one another, like, oh, I can have this treat if I take care of this task, or I'm going to do this with this person so that I know my desire to not disappoint them is going to be higher than my desire to not disappoint myself. So I'm going to get it done. I implement accountability and serious accountability around the things that I know I'm the least likely to do. That's where I kind of bring in the most reinforcements. So those kinds of things have helped me to go to the gym almost every day, even if I'm by myself. My trainer wasn't able to go, and I went by myself. And you guys know, when your trainer ain't there, that's a perfect time for Netflix, okay? You can just say, well, I don't know what to do, or, you know, but
Excuse me.
I feel like attaching it to all those things is really good, because you can start by needing that incentive and needing that accountability and enforcement around it. But as it becomes a habit, hopefully you won't need it forever, and it'll just become a part of your regular lifestyle. So I feel like that's where I'm inching toward. So I'm excited about that.
Well, that was the perfect intro to our breakdown from weekly to daily. We're going to talk a lot about daily routine today. Your daily routine can make or break you. So this week is the last week of goal planning, and we're discussing breaking your goals down from weekly to daily. So we went from annual to quarterly to monthly, and monthly to weekly. And now we're going weekly to daily, which is the absolute last step. In previous weeks, one of the things that we broke down was buying a house. Another example that I used in week 3. Week 3 was buying a house. Week 4 was running a mile. So we can discuss that even further. And we actually did, when we talked about running a mile, we actually did go into daily, because we talked about the increments in each day. With a house purchase, things might be different. So let's say this month I need to clean my credit up. And each week I have a goal to meet in order for, let's say, my debt to be less by the end of the month. It can be something very small, but you want to make sure that it's something. So let's say this month I want my debt is $750 total, and I want it to be $600. So $150. It's $150 of disposable income that you did not plan to apply towards any bills. But you're gonna apply this towards those extra bills that we forgot about, those credit cards that we didn't pay off, or those things that are just nagging us that we forgot about. We put it on the back burner. They weren't important. We paid our rent. We paid we paid everything in the forefront. So each day, okay, your $150. First of all, if you are committing to $150 for that week or that month, then you, number one, should have the money. You know where the money is coming from. But your weekly breakdown might be, what bills are you going to apply it to first? So the first week, you might need to pull a credit report and assess it. So day 1, I'm pulling my credit report, or I'm submitting to have my credit report pulled. Day 2, I get the report. Day 3, I review the report. Do a quick glance. This literally is going to take 5 to 10 minutes. It's not going to take 30, 40 minutes to get done. I glance over my credit report. I see what items are that haven't been touched. Those are the items that we're discussing. The items that haven't been touched. This is what we're applying the $150 to. So this is day 3. Day 3, we're reviewing the credit report. Day 4, we're going to go back and review the credit report again, right? But now we're going to look at how we might address each item. We might make a decision on how we're going to address each item or how we're going to remove each item. Okay. Day 5, you're done. You pulled your credit report and you did your analysis. Okay. Day 5, knowing me, I'm going to build a chart. That's just what I do. I build charts. I do Excel sheets just for no reason because I'm just tedious, OCD. But I'm probably going to build a little chart. I'm going to write the total balance. I'm going to write how long it would take to pay each one in 12 months, how much I have to pay towards it. 12 months, 6 months, I'll do different increments so I can see what my options are and how I can attack it. That's me. That's my analysis. Now, somebody else's analysis might not go that way. Somebody else's analysis might say, you know what, I'm going to pay the one that's the least first. Cool. Snowballing. That's great. Whatever way works for you. Not the same way doesn't work for everybody. So you have to decide what works for you and what you're going to be consistent, what you're going to be dedicated to. But this is just a way of breaking that weekly goal down to daily. You want to break it down into 5 days, not 7. Let me say that one more time. You want to break it down into 5 days, not 7. Reason. Give yourself those 2 extra days. You're going to slack. We all slack. We all say, I don't have time to do this today. I can do it tomorrow. So you have 5 tasks to do in 7 days. So when the new week rolls over, you've met your weekly goal. Remember, if you meet your daily goals, you meet your weekly goals. If you meet your weekly goals, you meet your monthly goals. It's a domino effect. So give yourself those 2 extra days. Don't crunch yourself and give yourself 7 tasks in 7 days. Because if you miss one of those tasks, you don't meet your goal. Give yourself a little leeway. We have to give ourselves leeway. We have to make things realistic. Once it becomes routine, then great. You can do it every single day because it's your routine. You feel good about it. You have different methods to get this thing done. One thing that I've implemented into my life is a lot of my friends are business owners. A lot of my friends are business owners, entrepreneurs. They're working towards something, whatever. So guess what? Most of my lunch dates are write-offs. I like to eat. It's better when it's a write-off. Business meetings. I create those business meetings so that I get the extra time with my friends, but we also have the extra time to be productive and help each other progress. So it has a double benefit. It works, it's progressive, but we're also enjoying our time together as well. So you have to decide what is in your routine or what matters. But when you break those weekly goals down, break them from weekly to daily only in 5 steps. Give yourself the extra 2 days to say, just in case something comes up, or just in case the kids, you know, aren't aren't working with you. um, the other thing is keep it simple. Keep it simple. My mother always said that kiss, keep it simple, silly. It's just keep it simple. Sometimes we like to complicate things too much, and then we have a headache trying to reach them. My personal weekly breakdown that I'm working on would be the professional company. Um, the professional company. But you know what? I want to actually use this podcast as an example because this is episode 5 and we are still building. We haven't launched yet. We plan to launch, but we have already agreed that we want to create content. So we want to have a couple episodes in the bank or 10 to 15 episodes in the bank for you all, ready, prepared. So we're not missing weeks and things like that. This week, I wanted to polish, I wanted to do the admin stuff. So I went in and I did the podcast description. I did the graphic design for the like the logo for the podcast. Um, the other thing we do is we build content. So each day I have a little something. I actually found the intro music too. So, but every day it was one thing. It wasn't multiple things. If I did multiple things, great. But my goal was to do one thing because as I do one thing, I've made progress. And making some progress is always going to be better than making no progress. How about you, Imani? What are you going to be breaking down from weekly to daily?
Yes, I love everything that you shared, especially what you mentioned about giving yourself maybe 1 to 2 things. We, it's like when we have an idea, we want to do the most possible, especially if it's an idea you've been sitting on. You feel like you owe it to the idea to show you're serious by having lists on lists on lists. And it's so easy to burn yourself out, to lose the motivation, to feel like you've done nothing, when the reality is you do deserve the dream. You are heading there. You just need to do it in bite-sized pieces, you know? I like the quote that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, you know? So I love that. I feel like you definitely touched on that. For me, my breakdown from weekly to daily, I'd say my biggest thing I've noticed when I'm trying to accomplish a goal, I have to do a lot more mindset work than either other people have to do or than other people share that they're working on. Because whenever you ask someone how they did something, they might touch briefly on your mindset, and then they have like ebooks galore for the practical steps. I feel like the practical steps for me come pretty easily. It's my mind that I need to spend a lot of time working on. Um, and so one example of that is for me, I feel like transparency is really important, being honest with myself. So I think often I might have an idea to, for example, work on a website or finish an aspect of a website. And I hit a certain level because, or I should say, I hit a wall at a certain point because I have a limited knowledge of website design and development. So I think that's one goal that I have stashed away for a very long time, but it's because I've been trying to put the pressure on myself to do it and to do all the things and to Google whatever I don't know. Whereas once I had a conversation with myself, about how I am good at certain things like copywriting and editing and SEO. I can do a lot of things, but I can't do everything. So once I extracted from my what I can do list and looked at the things that I cannot do, I was able to say, you know what, maybe I could break through this wall by delegating what I've just finally admitted to myself that I can't do. And there's no need for me to do it. There really isn't, you know? So if there's something I don't feel comfortable with, or maybe if it's something I can't afford, that might be a goal to save up to the point where I can afford that. But yes, so that's an example of how me being honest with myself and doing the work mentally actually did the work for me in the long run, where understanding my limitations and being honest about them actually helps me solve the problem more so than devoting countless hours not sleeping, you know, hyped up on coffee and energy drinks, like all the effort in the world. I love there's a scripture that says in all your understanding get wisdom, but I think that that's a great example because all of the effort in the world was was defeated in a sense by a moment's wisdom where it was like, maybe this is not your portion, maybe this is not for you, maybe this is their gray zone, this is an area where they really thrive, so why don't you let them thrive and handle that for you, and then they can give it back to you and you can tweak it and do what you're good at and what's within your gray zone and your capacity, you know, so I don't have to be in every lane and every field and everything. So I feel like the way I work through things is very different from what I see out in the world online, but it helps me. I could have a 20-minute conversation that could finish a project I've been working on for a decade. So
yeah, no, mindset is half the battle. Mindset is really truly half the battle. Uh, there's a few things I always say. If you haven't made the decision in your mind, it won't be done. Um, so your mindset is half the battle, and delegation is very, very, very important. Um, I'm another one. I will do everything. I have no problem doing everything. I can do everything, but I am not the best person to do everything. And that's one of the things I've realized. You know, you delegate. You delegate. And um even by delegating, like in creating something like a podcast, um, you know, get people that are on the come up like you know, get those people that want to work on a podcast, that might want to work on podcast period, but they don't have any podcast experience, so they might assist you, you know, um etc. But you know, use your avenues, use your outlets, use your network, um so that way you don't have everything, you don't have to the you don't have to hold all the eggs, you can pass some of them out. And you know, and you can work on it like that. So with the professional services company, that's why I'm trying to bring somebody else in with me. um I don't necessarily need somebody per se, but I know that when things get kind of running, it's going to be nice, number one, to have somebody else to help make decisions. And then I know that me and this person, we're like minded as far as organization and starting businesses and things like that. So I know that he'll be able to assist and he'll be able to bring something different to the table that will help the company. So it doesn't always have to be you, you know. You have these connections and you have these people in your network for a reason. So our segment 3 is Phenomenal Woman of the Week. Last week we talked about Kamala Harris, our new vice president, Madam Vice President. Um, and this week, I'm not sure. Woo! Well, I was gonna say I'm not sure that I have anybody, but maybe the light told me that I need to have somebody. Oh, you know who our phenomenal woman of the week is? Our phenomenal woman of this week is Imani. And I'm going to tell you why. Don't do that. um, Imani has always been a very positive light in my life. And that, as we told you before with the story, part of the reason why um, this name of this podcast is Heaven Sent is because she has literally been an angel to me. My mother, when I grew up, she always told me, let your light shine. And Imani is literally that beacon of light. Like when the phone rings, that's the light calling. um, and just with everything across the board, just friendship, faith, my, faith, building each other's faith up and things like that. And even seeing her now as a mom, like I'm very proud of her. Um, and she's very consistent, she's very patient, and she just has she works hard. And you know what? Everybody needs to be appreciated. Everybody needs to know how important they are. And literally, this girl has literally been my angel for the last 10 years. Like real true life angel on earth. So that's why she is our phenomenal woman of the week. Imani.
Do I have to do I do an acceptance speech?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I don't know. Go close the door. I'm crying. No, I'm not crying.
He is always on point. He's always on point.
Oh my gosh. I'd say I have to say thank you to Brooke, my phenomenal woman of every week, because I give a lot of credit for who I've become, especially as an adult woman, to you. And sometimes people compliment me on different aspects of my personality, like, oh, you're so organized, or oh, you think things through. I'm like, I've been studying Brooke for years, So even if they don't get the chance to meet you, they get the chance to benefit from you and from who you are, the good and the bad I pull, because I'm telling you, I appreciate that, and I take our friendship very seriously. I'll pull up in a minute for your on your behalf. All you gotta do is hold my baby. I got you. I got my 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 hair tied. But I really appreciate that because because I'm younger, and I think when we connected, I wasn't even anywhere near being a parent and anything like that, and I was concerned that our relationship would feel more like just another child, a parent-child type ordeal. But I think it's wonderful to meet people that not only see your potential, but just really respect you. They don't need to put you down or make you less to make themselves more and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited to be able to work on this project of the podcast together, because I feel like more people need to see that and experience that and see what our dialogue is like, coming from, different places, different households, different upbringing, different life story. But it's a beautiful thing anyway,
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, but I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You already know. I love, love, love Imani.
Mm-hmm.
God got me, plant his seeds, let me breathe, cause I need him. Stay faithful, not hateful, I'm playful, cause he got me. He called me his angel, I'm flying to heaven. Just know that he sent me from heaven to flex it.